everyone, welcome back to an all-new episode of Classically Trained. I, of course, decided, hey, Halloween is almost here, it's time to dress up. I, of course, am from my favorite anime, Naruto, and I am an Akatsuki member, preferably Itachi. So, today we're going to go through some of the awesome things that I got this weekend. And I got a lot of cool things. First up, I got a very, very awesome Snow action figure from Final Fantasy 13. And the thing I love about these figures is they are so detailed, so much love goes into making these figures. And you guys know that I have a whole setup for Final Fantasy 7. Final Fantasy 13 was actually my other favorite Final Fantasy game, and it was my first Final Fantasy game. I really love the story, I love the characters, and I wanted to have this figure, and I saw it at my Microplay Jumbo Video store. Got it for $10, which these figures are actually very rare, and they go for a high price online. It's not a complete in-box, but I was never going to keep it in a box. I like to have my action figures to be shown, so it looks better than having it inside a box. I prefer them outside of a box, but pop figures inside of a box. And that goes to our next category. I got a bunch of awesome pop figures, and as you guys can see, I got the Nun, Demonic, from one of my favorite movie franchises, the movie universe of Conjuring. I already had the original Nun, but I needed the Demonic one, and I have. So that completes my Nun collection, though I do need to get a few more of the Annabelle pop figures. I did not get them when they came out, and I kind of regret it, but now I'm trying to go back and find them. I also got this Super Saiyan Trunks from Dragon Ball Z Super. I used to have the normal Trunks from the very first pop figures of Dragon Ball Z, and I think I sold it, which was kind of stupid because now it's worth about $90 to $100. But it's okay. I have this one, and if I find the other one, I'll just grab the other one. And I love this pop figure because of how detailed, and I love the pose. I love how it's different than most pop figures. I also picked up some Overwatch pops. Like, I know I said that I was not going to get into Overwatch, and I didn't care for it. I picked it up, and I got my three favorite characters. I got Sombra, I got... which she's pretty cool, she's one of my favorites. I got Genji, which is also really awesome. I love cyborg ninjas, so I decided I wanted that. And I got this other awesome pop figure, which I can't remember the name of it right now, but a very, very awesome character as well. Pharaoh, and I don't know why that took me so long. I got this pop figure, she is so awesome, I love her design. And it's Egyptian lore, so I really, really love it. I also picked up a handful of My Hero Academia pop figures. You guys know I'm a huge fan of My Hero Academia. And a new set came out that I didn't have yet, so I've been collecting that set. And I found some pretty awesome ones that I needed, and I think I only need 3 more. Most of them are exclusives, but I did get this, all the characters I needed. I got me All Might, the Silver Age All Might. All Might has the teacher. I got Momo, and I also got a few other pops. But my most my favorite and the one sought after pop figure that I really wanted was this awesome Entertainment Earth Deku. Now, I of course live here in Canada. We do not have Entertainment Earth. I know I can order online, but I always have that thing of ordering pop figures and they come in damaged and then you have to resend them back. And I like to go and buy and see what I'm buying. So I found this at Mind Games, very awesome store. They're starting to get exclusives from the States, and they bring them to the store and you're able to buy them. I paid $20 for this, which is a hell of a lot cheaper than what they were charging at Fan Expo. So very, very happy I got it. Part of my collection now. So we are going to go into some movies. I did get a bunch of new movies this weekend. As always, dollar stores, thrift stores, and any other stores that have Blu-rays or DVDs for cheap, I pick up. And I picked up a lot of awesome movies. One being this one that I just watched last night, The Fifth Commandment. Now this is an awesome action movie. I love martial arts movies. I've always loved martial arts movies. And this movie was under the radar. I never even knew it existed. And I bought this and I was like, you know what? I'm excited. I love action movies. I love martial arts. And I'm very happy I did, because the story is actually really awesome. It's about a boy whose parents get killed by an assassin, and another assassin takes him in, trains him, and later on he becomes an assassin himself. But he takes a different route where he changes throughout the film. He falls for the person that he's supposed to kill, which, you know, it's happened in a lot of other action movies, but I really love this movie. The martial arts were amazing. I really like the story, and I really love the actors. One being one actor from he was in the original Fast and Furious movies. I didn't even know he knew martial arts, but yeah, so definitely one that you should watch if you love martial arts films. Next up, I got Rumblefish. Now, Rumblefish is a movie that I had to read the book as a kid in school. I don't know if I'm going to like this movie. I might watch it. If I don't like it, I'm just going to get rid of it. I got it for cheap, so it wasn't too bad, but it doesn't... I'm going to just say right now, it doesn't look like a movie that I would watch and love. I know it's big, critically acclaimed. It's, you know, it's one of those movies that, I don't know, I just can't really put my thing on why I won't like this movie. I think I won't, but I do love how it is black and white. I've done a lot of small-time videos of black and white, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm not gonna say no, don't like it, and yes, I do like it. Next up, I got Boogeyman. Now, Boogeyman is a horror movie that was done in the early 2000s, and you know, graphics, like CGI-wise, of course, it's not the greatest. It was at that time where CGI was kind of getting into it. But I love the emphasis and the story of Boogeyman, about young kids who are terrified of a creature that lives inside their closet. And this movie is actually pretty scary. There's a couple of scenes that they're disturbing. But it's definitely an awesome movie. I got it for $3. And I'm very happy I did, because I didn't have it in my collection, which is kind of surprising since I have so many horror movies. Next up, I got Triple X Return of Xander Cage. Now this, of course, is part 3 to the Triple X movies, and I'm glad I got it because I really like this one a lot. I don't have part 2 because Vin Diesel didn't come back for that. Vin Diesel has a thing where he makes one movie, disappears, and then he finally comes back to a franchise. Part 3 is actually really amazing. You have Donnie Yen, which is one of my favorite action martial arts actors in the world, and a lot of very beautiful women in this movie. Nina Dobrev, of course, who plays oh my god, I even forget, Elena, thank you, in Vampire Diaries. I really love her as an actress. Very beautiful and Canadian-born. But yeah, this movie is over-top action, and it's definitely one that is very, very entertaining. Next up, I picked up another VHS movie, and it's called Home Team. I don't know much about this movie. I know it reminds me a lot of The Big Green, which was a soccer movie, a kid soccer movie, but this one, it seems to be about a guy who goes and he's like a handyman, I guess, that works at, that's forced to work at an orphanage, and I guess something happens and they create a soccer team. But I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to see it this coming weekend. But I'm very, very happy I got it because I think I've seen it when I was younger, but I'm not 100% sure. Next up, I got an awesome romance movie that's actually a Christmas movie, and it's with my favorite actress of all time. She's so beautiful, so attractive, Kate Beckinsale, and it's Serendipity. Now this movie is about, like I said, it's a romance movie. It's about destiny. What would you do, I should put, if you met someone and you fell in love with her, and you couldn't be together because she had a boyfriend, and you've had this most romantic and connection, kind of few hours with this person, and then vanish for a couple years and find each other again. I really love Kate Beckinsale, like I said, a huge Underworld fan, and she's just absolutely gorgeous, probably one of the most beautiful women in the world. But I really, really love this movie, and I forgot that this was actually a Christmas movie too. So yeah, I watched a Christmas movie before Halloween, which is kind of shocking in my kind of thing because I love horror movies and I love doing horror movie marathons. Next up, I got a couple of awesome. Oh no, sorry, there is one more movie, The Hard Way. Now this is an action comedy movie with my boy Michael J. Fox, and he is so awesome in this movie, but he's an actor that is kind of hating the roles that he gets in movies, and he goes and shadows a cop that is one of the most angry and pissed off New Yorker ever. This movie is just hilarious fun, kind of the bad cop, good cop kind of thing, even though he's an actor who's trying to learn his character for a future movie. And Michael J. Fox just does such an awesome job in this movie. I really love Michael J. Fox's movies, and this one definitely did not disappoint. It was hilarious, action-packed, and definitely one, if you haven't seen, it's definitely one you should watch. Now we're going to get into some awesome stuff. We're going to get into the games. And this week I picked up a few awesome games. I picked up a new Atari 2600 game in box, and it is Centipede. Now Centipede is an awesome game that is shown in almost every movie that has Atari on it, and this game was one of those games that I didn't have as a kid, but I really wanted it because I've seen it in different movies, especially Pixels, which is one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies. But yeah, I found this in box, $10, so I picked it up, and it's basically like every other Atari shooter, just different mechanics, but you're trying to kill the centipede before it comes down and destroys you. And there's a lot of objectives. Once you shoot them, they create little bubbles, and they're just maneuvering around, so they bounce off these. But yeah, it's very simple mechanics, but very addictive gameplay, and very hard. Next up, I got an awesome, two awesome Nintendo games. First up being Yoshi's Cookie. And Yoshi's Cookie is a rare game that I picked up for $10 at Talese. And Yoshi's Cookie is basically like Tetris, except with cookies. And as you can see by the video, it's just a fun puzzle type game where you have to take out the cookies before it gets to a certain limit, and you have all that Tetris-y type of Puyo Puyo gameplay. I didn't have this one as a kid, but I did always want it. I love Yoshi, so once I saw it, I just picked it up right away. Next up, I also picked up this other NES game, and this one is called Dragon Warrior. I know nothing of this game. I just saw the artwork, which, by the way, artworks for past video games are absolutely incredible. And I picked this up because I really wanted to play it. And first thing that I noticed, it's a lot like Dragon Quest / Final Fantasy. So I'm very happy to pick it up. I haven't really played much of it. I just played a little bit to show you guys the video of it. But from what I see, it looks like it's going to be a full-on RPG game, and that's turn-based. And it is one of the first NES games that I've ever had that has a battery inside for the save. So I'm very interested to see how that works, and hopefully it does work. Because of course, once the battery dies out, your game can't save, but you can take it somewhere and they can replace the battery, which I might have to do in case it doesn't work. But I'm very excited for this Next up, I got a very, very hard to find game in box that's actually kind of mint condition, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. And I wanted this so badly, and I bought it at Game Cycle, and it is Super Mario Bros. 3, which is my favorite Mario game ever created. Nothing can ever come close to touching that game. But I always wanted one in box with manual, and I picked this one up. Regular price, the regular price was $69.99, and I got it. I haggled down the price, which they're very, very awesome at doing. I picked it up for $59. There is no tax included, so I'm very, very happy I got it. And it comes with the nice plastic case, and where you have the insert so you can put inside and preserve the game. It was one of those games that I've played the most of, and it's just such a fun game. It's still very, very playable to this day. The reason I really love this game is the tail. You got the Tanuki tail, and the frog suits, and the levels are awesome. The graphic art style is completely different than the original and Part 2, and it really spawned my love for Mario Brothers. But yeah, this was a must-have. I had to pick it up right away, and I'm very, very happy I did, because, like I said, it's one of those games where if I didn't pick it up in box, I would probably be very sad. I have it for, NAS as a loose cart, but I am one of those guys who has to have the boxes, so I made sure to grab that. Next up, I got a PSP game that is one of my favorite games of all time, and it is Naruto Ultimate Ninja Heroes, the Phantom Fortress. And what I love about that game is that takes the Naruto fighting genre and puts it on a handheld. Now, there is an original one that came out for PSP, but I don't care for it as much. This one was the only one that had a story put into it, and you're going through basically a fortress of 100 floors, and it is like a board game / fighter / RPG. And this game is one of my favorites because I really do love the story. Graphics are amazing for a handheld, and I used to own it when I had my first PSP, and then I sold it, and then I got another PSP back, and now I have this one game in my collection. And Naruto, like I said, is my favorite anime of all time, so finding a copy of this game was a huge like happiness kind of thing for me, so I'm very, very happy I got it. Next up is 2 Switch games. I got 2 awesome Switch games, one being Overwatch. So like you guys just saw that I have pop figures of my favorite characters. I picked up Overwatch for the Switch, and the one thing about this game that I really hate, and it's not gameplay, it's not all that, it's why did they release a retail version that's in store without a physical game cart? So if you buy the game, you're getting a digital download code inside of an actual box with artwork. I hate when they do that, but I also like that they at least gave us a box art for the game, so I can add into my collection. But this game is a lot of fun. I never played it before, and I picked it up for the Switch because I was interested in playing it. And you guys know I'm all about the Nintendo and Sega systems, so I picked up Overwatch, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's just one of those games where you just, you have a long day at work, and you just want to have a little fun. You play. I'm not totally addicted to it like some people. Like I said, to me, it's just one of those games where I'll play on my spare time if I have time to play it. But it's not one game that I just constantly have to go back to every time. Which, it's one of those games, if it had a story mode, an offline story mode, I'd probably be really, really happy with the game. But being online only and you're not able to enjoy a story mode, it's just gameplay. It's definitely not my type of games. I got this one because, like I said, I was curious of how it played and I picked it up. But I'm always one of those guys who would rather pay for a game that had a story in it and an offline mode. But It's still a lot of fun. And this next game I got for free. I traded my Pokemon cards to my co-host Thor, which is nice because I get 2 free games, and I got 1 already. And it is Digimon Cyber Sleuth, the complete edition. I've never played any of these games. I've been a Digimon fan, but where the games were considered, I never thought the games as good as Pokemon. But this one seems to be very, very different because this one is an RPG game that is a turn-based fighter, just like Final Fantasy VII, which I love those types of games. I got this. I haven't played much of it. Just captured a little bit of video for you guys for the show. But I'm very excited to play this game. And Digimon is one of those awesome franchises that I grew up with and I love. And there's a lot of awesome Digimon in this game. So I picked it up, very excited to play it, and it's a complete edition, so you're getting all the DLC with it. But it's kind of hard when you go out and you want to buy a game and you have all the major titles already bought. There are a few that I can't buy because I've saved for my birthday and Christmas, so I don't want to take that away from my parents and my brother, so I always give them a list of stuff that I want for Christmas, and on that list I don't touch anything. So there's a lot of games like Astral Chain I really want. There's Dragon Quest 11. There's what was the other one? Of course, Legend of Zelda. There's the Pokemons. There's Ni no Kuni, which I really want too, and Legend of Zelda. But I'm saving that for after Christmas to see what I got. And if I don't have it, I just buy it on Boxing Day because I love going out Boxing Day. I'm one of those crazy shoppers who love to feel the rush and the excitement. Picked up this game, very excited to play it, and that is pretty much the only games that I've gotten this week, which is a handful of games. And I saved one awesome thing for last. This is not a game, it's just a thing for my museum, and I got it from my best friend who works at Jumbo and Microplay. So he gave me his awesome standee of Fire Emblem 3 Houses to put in my room. You guys know I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan, and I love these things because in the future I can have it displayed and people can see this awesome thing. And the cool thing is that it's actually not cardboard. This is plastic, so it's not going to get damaged very easy. And you guys know I have a whole bunch of standees, but this one is the one I wanted the most. It's still one of my most played games. I need to get back into it as soon as I beat Final Fantasy VII, but this one is top of my list. And that, guys, is today's awesome show. I hope you guys have a very fun and safe Halloween. Make sure you guys are out there enjoying yourselves. You got parties to go to, you have candy. If you have kids, you got to take them out. But make sure you guys dress up. That's the fun part of Halloween. Make sure you celebrate Halloween. I think it's one of those holidays where it should be a holiday and everybody be home, but I've been finding a lot of people have not been doing that lately, where they've not been decorating like they used to be. It's just an all-around fun experience if you celebrate the holiday and make it shine. So I hope you guys have a happy and safe Halloween, and I'll see you guys next week for another episode. Thanks, guys.